Well, good morning, our beloved, not beloveds. So instead of seeing yourselves as part of the collective, today we wish to invite you in to see yourself simply as a human. Our another is going through another huge transfiguration of how she perceives herself, and we wish to share part of this journey with you all. The first main aspect of her journey was to be dissociated, in which is simply a term or a concept for you live out of your head. You get so worried about feeling and the reality of what you're experiencing, so your soul and its presence somehow lives outside of you because it's too scary to be in your world, and you reside in your head. And it's not only your ego, it is your consciousness, if you will, the part of you that just runs the operating system. You go to work, you come home, you cook dinner, you clean, you make love for some of you, you feed your pets, you go on a walk, and you do this again and again and again. But if you notice, your point of consciousness is in your brain, in the prefrontal cortex, and sometimes in your amygdala, or your limbic system even. So it matters. What we wish to point out is that when you live in this dissociated state, you are simply a walking head without the rest of your body being online. And coming back online is quite scary. And why? Because when you come back online, you begin to feel all of your trauma and all of your tribulations come up to be seen again and hopefully healed. But if nothing else, you will see them again and again and again. Now, when you have somewhat mastered coming back into your body and working through your past traumas, you begin the next journey, and that is where our another is now. It is truly a transfiguration versus an experience of what it is to be human. When you get to that third aspect, we ask you to become disembodied. And what we mean by that is that you recognize that you are having a human experience, but you are truly just a soul. And when you can get to that point, you don't take experiences seriously as you did before. You simply see it as, this is where my soul is right now in this physicality called my human body, to experience this shameful or hurtful or harmful or painful or treacherous or tragic moment. But you don't align with it. You don't attach to it. You simply say, oh, this is an experience I am having right now. How can I choose to be love and light for myself? What does love and light look like for me? I now realize that the people outside of me are, for the most part, behaving or acting out of their trauma wound. So they are still either dissociated or coming into their body to become embodied and acting out of their trauma wound. And when you realize that that is all that you're experiencing, a dog or a beloved pet that has been beaten into submission and is terrified, and you meet it while it is backed into a corner, how would you expect it to behave other than to snarl and growl at you, maybe jump at you, try to bite you, attack you, pin you down, maybe even kill you? But it matters not what that dog is doing to you, because it has nothing to do with you. It is the past experiences, the past traumas and trials that have taught this beloved animal that this is an unsafe world. And the more you add to that experience by being unkind or nasty, it simply validates that their experience is that they are unsafe. So when you can move into this state of disembodiment and simply walk, loving all, while pointing out to those where they are not living in truth, where they are harming others, you can simply say that. And if you wish to see a walking embodiment of a disembodied individual, look at how Jesus walked on this earth. Look at how Mahatma Gandhi walked, Nelson Mandela, RFK even. He didn't care how others saw him. He was not a perfect man, but he walked his walk in order to teach others what life could look like when you believe that your opinion matters and that you can help others by being a kind and compassionate human being. Jesus was not perfect, though everybody says he was. He was not. He was a human like you all. He struggled like you all. But the one thing that Jesus knew was what his mission was. And that was to teach others to be love and to know that they are loved. Therein finding peace within their own heart and trusting that the universe will care for them. When you all can begin to understand what love feels like when you offer it to others through the compassionate embodiment of what Christ would look like if he came to embody you within your earthly experience, then you will realize what it is to be Buddha. They are one and the same. You just think that they're not. Buddha came to teach love, but taught you to do it from a quietness, a stillness, a self-love. And he sat and he did it and he taught. And Jesus walked and talked and told others where they were not love and where they were love. And no one wanted to hear Jesus' version. And so they killed him. And he knew that this was going to be his end, because just like our another, we share the future with those who will continue to walk towards it, even though they know what awaits them. This is what true embodiment and then disembodiment looks like. Surrendering into the mystery of the unknown and guiding yourself from a place of compassion and collaboration with those who are willing to walk this journey with you. And those who wish not to grow, they will peel off and stand by the roadside just watching you, maybe with frustration, maybe with disgust, maybe with hatred and anger. But at some point they too will yearn and long to be in your life again, because when you are the walking embodiment of what it is to be disembodied, then and only then can you understand what your life's purpose really is. And that is not to change anybody, but simply to love them and to encourage them to be the change that they wish to experience in this world. It is about addiction and attachment theory. That about sums up everything about humanity. And that is why our another will begin speaking of and teaching about this attachment theory. Because when you begin to understand your inner landscape, you will begin to understand your outer experience that much more, why there are fights and disagreements, why there are ruptures, and why there are reunions. When you figure out who you are and how you behave, and who others are and how they behave, and why, and how you can bridge those differences and heal one another's attachment difficulties, then and only then will you really begin to realize who you are, which is just a walking ball of love. And remember, not everybody is eager, willing, or capable of going on this journey right now. So trust that they know what is best for them, and just set them aside and allow them to come along when and if they may be ready. And then they will start their long journey back home as well. And so it is. Namaste.